Hey everyone, thanks for checking in back over here at the channel. What I've got for you guys today is my version of the Battle of the Budget Optics. What I mean by that is I'm going to be taking two optics that run under $400 and mounting them up on my Ruger Precision 22 long rifle. Now the first scope that I've got set up is my Arken Optics SH4 GENII. Now this is the 6-24 by 50 model, all set up with Arken's rigid mount. I'm going to be comparing that directly to the CVLIFE Bearswift. Now these sell for about $299, but you can also find them on sale. This is the 5-25 by 56 version. It does come with some CVLIFE rings. I'm not going to be using those. I've got a set of CVLIFE's premium medium height rings to mount it up on the Ruger Precision. Now what I'm going to be doing is setting the target out at 75 yards, checking the glass clarity, moving around the turrets on both of these, and giving an overall comparison of these two optics and seeing for the buck, hey, which one shakes out the best. So let's get to doing some shooting. Now what I'm going to be doing for this comparison is setting both optics up at a magnification of 14 at 75 yards, shooting the CCI standard velocity ammunition. What I'm going to do is send 5 rounds downrange, get them on target, and then I'm going to mess around with the turrets, screw the turrets a whole bunch, mess with them, just twist them all around, and send 5 more and see if everything comes back to 0. I'm going to do that with both the Arken Optic and the CVLIFE. So let's get to doing that shooting. Let's go check out those shots. Well, all right, there are our first 5 shots from the Ruger Precision with the Arken Optics SH4 GENII. Not too shabby for 75 yards. Well, we're gonna walk back, twist these turrets around a whole bunch, see if that 0 moves around at all. All right, back to the rifle. Let's get to twisting these turrets. Just moving them around a whole bunch here. Getting a bunch of clicks going on here. Hitting the 0 stop good. All right, let's send 5 more. Well, a misfeed, that's never good. But we'll work through that. Last one. Let's go check out that final group with the SH4 GENII after twisting around those turrets. Well, all right, well, based on that 10-shot group, 5 from the beginning, 5 more after twisting things around. I'm gonna say that the Arken holds its zero quite well. So the SH4 really did what I expected. I've got quite a bit of time behind these. After giving those turrets a whole bunch of twisting back and forth, banging off the zero stop, the thing held at zero. I'm gonna spin this target around. I've got a couple more little stick-on targets on the other side, and let's do the same with the CVLIFE Bearswift. Now the first thing I need to do when I get back to the rifle here is pull off the Arken Optic, get the Bearswift mounted up, bore sighted, and though I'm not cheating, I gotta send a couple down range because I gotta get the thing zeroed. So let's get that Bearswift all zeroed up on the Ruger Precision and then conduct this 10-round test. All right, guys, I've got this thing all mounted up. Didn't bore you guys with the process. I do have other content out there that shows you how to mount a scope and zero one, but the CVLIFE Bearswift's all mounted up with CVLIFE's premium rings. Seem to mount up real well, and these rings, if I didn't know any better, seem to be complete clones of the Arken Halo. So everything's mounted up, everything is zeroed. Didn't bore you guys with that. Let's get it all set up and let's send these 10-round comparison downrange. Bearswift is all mounted up. Got my magnification set to 14, got my parallax all set up, focused in out to 75 yards. I'm gonna talk a bit about that some more at the end here. But let's send the first 5 down there, see how this thing groups. CCI ammunition is being a bugger ejection sometimes. Let me clear this. All right, I've got that failure to eject all cleared up. So let's send the last 4 to this first group. Hopefully we get some good ejection. Same thing. Got it out with some cycling. The Ruger Precision is not liking this CCI standard velocity. Accuracy, it's not bad, but ejection is not good. Well, I'll clear that, but let's go take a look at the target. Now, generally, this Ruger Precision of mine, this 22, gosh, this thing is fail-proof. I don't have any problems with it. Affordable 22 long rifle, pretty darn accurate. Not sure, maybe I've got the chamber too clean. You'd put a little lubricant in there. We'll try that out, but let's look at this first group first. Well, here we go. This is our first 5-shot group with the CVLIFE Bearswift. It's not as tight as the other group, but you know, I was dealing with some frustration of some failures to eject. But it looks like we've got all 5 shots. They're grouped up decent, up on a little high side. Let's twist the turrets around and see if it groups in the same spot. Now, normally I wouldn't be putting any fault on that group compared to the first group, attributing it to the optic at all. But I'm going to talk a bit about the parallax or the side adjustment on this Bearswift in a minute. So let's get the last 5 sent down there after we give this thing a bunch of spinning of the turrets. All right, let's just spin this stuff around. Now, these are locking turrets here. So spin these around a bunch. You've got the windage turret here. Give this a bunch of spinning and get up to our elevation. Now, our elevation turret does not lock out on this, and I did not set the 0 stop on this, so I want to make sure I get it back to the 0, which is right about there. But we're gonna spin it around a whole bunch here. Where's our 0? There's our 0. Let's go one whole time around. There we go. All right, that's pretty good. Send these last 5 downrange. Hopefully we get 5 shots that eject like they're supposed to. No ejection. Let me clear that and get the camera back on. Took a bit of persuasion, but I got that brass out. Let's get these last 4 down there so we can check out this final group. Now this ammunition is being a bugger. None of them are ejected. I am able to get my finger in there and do it though. All right, the last one. I did notice one was an odd flyer. I'm not going to attribute that to the optic or the rifle or anything, seeing the issues I'm having with this ammunition. But let's go look at that last group. Oh boy, that rifle is frustrating me today. I haven't had issues like that with this 22 ever. One of my other ones has some failures to eject, and I worked the extractor out on that. But this Ruger Precision's been pretty foolproof, especially with this CCI standard velocity ammunition. I've got a lot of this stuff, so I hope it shoots it well. But let's look at this target now. All right, well, there it is. There is our second 5-shot group. Now you can see the one flyer I had on the right there, but everything seems to have tracked and gone right back to the point of aim or the centering or the zeroing that I did for the first 5 shots. All right, guys, I've got everything packed up. Everything is put away, and I'm finishing up this budget optic comparison just as the rain is starting to come in. So what can we take away from this? We've got the Arken Optics SH4 Gen 2 compared to the CVLIFE Bearswift optic. I'm going to talk a bit about the CVLIFE optic more because I've got a lot of content on the SH4 Gen 2 and a lot of familiarity with that. Now back to this CVLIFE, this Bearswift. Now, as I spent more time behind this optic, I did notice some drastic distortion with the glass. Now, the center of the optic, right where the reticle is, where you aim, it's quite clear, but not much out. As you move out, that's really like a holdover of maybe 1.5 mil. It really does start to have some distortion in there. Same token as far as the side focus. So when I was trying to get the target crisp and clear, moving that parallax adjustment on the side, I've realized that it's extremely finicky. It really touchy when you would move that side focus, that parallax, to get the target crisp and clear with that CVLIFE optic. Now it would get clear, it was clear, it was plenty clear for me to see the bullseye in the center of the reticle, but if you were gonna use this much for spotting purposes, 1.5 mil or just, you know, maybe 20% outside the center of the optic, the glass does start to have some distortion. As far as tracking, it did track well. I shot those first 5 rounds, wiggled everything around, twist, 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 and it went right back to where it's supposed to do. Back to the Arken Optics SH4 Gen 2, I've got a lot of time behind that. I was confident that it was going to track, and it did. The glass is clear, Now, we were only shooting at 75 yards, but everything was crisp and clear. So if we were going to compare these two optics, apples to apples, orange to oranges, and for the cost, I would have to lean towards the Arken Optics, primarily for one reason, and that would be the warranty. So the Arken Optics has this unconditional lifetime warranty versus 1 year with the CVLIFE Bearswift. The CVLIFE Bearswift, it is a good optic for the money. I just think for the couple bucks more, the Arken Optics is going to be the way to go. Thanks for checking in, and keep on shooting.